What a funny thing all this politics is at the moment. Liz Truss is trying to score a point off Rishi Sunak. She's saying that she would immediately reverse the rise in national insurance contributions as soon as she became Prime Minister. She wasn't going to leave it until April 2023. She would do it within weeks. And Rishi Sunak counters by saying that this would not benefit those people most in need. It wouldn't benefit pensioners or those out of work and so on. And that he says that she's simply got it wrong. This then allows Penny Mordaunt to come creeping in with oh no, Liz Truss hasn't ruled out direct payments as well to help people struggling with the cost of living crisis. So Liz Truss, again, she really hasn't thought through what she's saying, and it's up to those people who are supporting her to pick those points from Rishi Sunak that they like, and tell us once again that no, we don't understand, we're not listening properly, to gaslight us again. It's tiresome, and if this is how Liz Truss is going to behave before she's become Prime Minister, just think how much she's going to behave like this after she's Prime Minister. This is a lady who does not like to be told that she's wrong or that anyone else is better than her. This is a lady who sticks to the script, come what may, if she can read it, and who will then turn round and say, well, you didn't understand. It's very much like when she was accused of not understanding geography when she was trying to face down Sergei Lavrov in Russia on his own territory and tell him that Rostov-on-Don was not part of Russian territory. Of course, it's part of Russian territory. I actually know a person with a very nice factory there who makes perlini. These are little sort of little things, sort of little bits of meat wrapped up in pasta. Very much part of a Russian breakfast and produced in Rostov-on-Don. Rostov-on-Don was also the subject of quite an important book. I mean, it turns up in Quiet Flows the Don, and so on. For somebody not to know that Rostov-on-Don is part of Russia is understandable if they're not the Foreign Secretary. If they're the Foreign Secretary and they're trying to pick a fight with the Foreign Minister in Russia, it seems to me to be rather ridiculous. And yet, instead of admitting that she hadn't done her homework and she hadn't read her brief, she went on the offensive. This is what it's going to be like, week after miserable week until there's an election. And then I imagine the Conservative Party will be out of office for years. And this is down to Liz Truss, it's down to Mr. Johnson. I promised somebody today that I would try and stop calling him Boris, because that's how I knew him in the past, Boris. That's indeed how his sister refers to him when she's talking to people. She calls him Boris, though I know she calls him Alex at home. And so I will try and refer to him as Johnson. Johnson, though I must say, when I say it, Johnson sounds like a slightly rude word, doesn't it? We don't really like Johnson, or we've got problems with the Johnson. Well, I think we all have, really. Anyway, there we are. Johnson it is. Johnson it'll stay. I'll do my best, I promise. And so I think it's down to Liz Truss, to Boris, Johnson, and to Mrs. May. But most of all, I think the destruction of the Conservative Party must fall at the feet of, or must fall into the hands of, Mr. Cameron, whose arrogance in pursuit of the Brexit referendum and whose arrogance in not defining a proper Remain campaign, that's his fault. That's his fault. And the destruction of the Conservative Party must lie, I think, with Cameron, who, By the way, just while we're on the subject of Mr. Johnson and my past, I was always told to walk on the other side of the street when Cameron was walking down the street towards me. I think that's probably a wise bit of advice.